This is the Dignitas system build. This is a noob's guide to building a computer, and trust me, I'm a very big noob. I'm sure I made 100 mistakes in making this case. Technically, I'm not brilliant at technical stuff. I literally just wadge things together and somehow it works. I just made up that word, by the way. But here's one I made earlier. This Blue Peter don't sue, by the way. But basically, yeah, I just built a computer. There's little tutorial videos that will come after this video, I guess. But first off, I'd like to thank everyone that sent parts for this to build this awesome, powerful machine. I'd like to thank Intel, Bigfoot, Quiet PC, Sapphire, Western Digital. God, what else? Oh, that's about it, I think. Oh, and Creative as well for the sound card. Just like to thank everyone for sending all that awesome stuff to build this awesome PC, and I'm really, really grateful, and thanks to Dignitas for giving me the opportunity to do this. If you find the video vague in some places, it's because I thought it was self-explanatory. Particular parts of the video, like the hard drive section, I thought it was fairly self-explanatory how to put a hard drive in a hard drive tray. Kind of left most of that out. But if you really want to know how, just let me know and I will post stuff on it. Anyways, enjoy the video, and this is how I built this machine. I hope it's clear and I hope you understand it. If not, I'll make another one and try better. Okay, first step is installing stuff to the motherboard. Now, before you put all of it in the case, your motherboard, screw it in there, you might want to actually just plug in the RAM, the CPU, you know, all the smaller sort of devices that need to go in before you actually put it in the case, because it can become slightly more difficult and you've got less room to move. So before you do anything, build up the RAM, the CPU and the heatsink before you put the motherboard into the case. Okay, easiest thing to do first is install the RAM. Now this is really, really easy to install. All you've got to do is find the RAM slots, which are here across the motherboard. Now, because I have 3 types of DDR3 RAM, they all go in the dual triple channel, I guess now, of DDR, which is highlighted by these blue things here. So you just whack each and every one of them in the blue slots, that way they'll be linked up and your RAM will be accelerated to greater speeds. I guess that's the principle of it. So simply just place it in the right way. One end is shorter than the other, so make sure you get it in the right way and don't force it in. If it's not going in, it's not going in for a reason, that's why. And literally just push it in until it clicks, like so. And then repeat the processes on the other 2. Okay, with the RAM out of the way, we move on to the CPU, which is slightly more delicate in procedure, but fairly simple as well. You just got to make sure you line up the slots correctly, and then you'll be okay. I'm actually using the i7-9775, which is the Extreme Edition version, so this is quite a hefty, expensive chip. Very lucky to have it. Thank you, Intel. Love you, sponsors. Basically line up the slots with the processor itself. Now I've got it a little bit upside down because there we go, there should be slots from here to here and it should just line up there, hopefully. I believe that's in the right way. I hope so. There's 2 slots here and here. I'm not sure if you can see them. I'll zoom in. Hopefully you can see them. There you go. This slot here and that one up there as well. So you want to match them up, and the arrow should be in the top corner. I'm using the motherboard upside down at the moment to do the filming process, but you know, you'd be the other way to it, more than likely. As you can see, I've already got thermal paste on it because I've done a Blue Peter thing, whereas I built one before and then stripped it down just so I could get familiar with the build itself to do the filming process. Okay, once you've got the CPU in there and you've got the thermal paste on, you want to apply your heatsink. And basically, if you come with a stock cooler, which you get with a retail box with Intel or any other processor, basically you just get a heatsink that just jabs onto the top, unless they've changed them now. But if you've got a high quality sink cooler, basically I've got one from Quiet PC, awesome guys, sent me this high quality. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Austrian. I'm dyslexic. It's never going to happen, basically. I'm not going to ever pronounce that name unless somebody tells me it. So, very cool heatsink, whatever you are. Basically, I'm going to attach this onto the back, which is the bracket. And if you've got a posh heatsink like me, you're going to need to flip over the motherboard first and then whack this on. This is basically to secure the heatsink later on. Oh, there you go. I'll flip it back down. Hopefully it doesn't come out. There you go, job done. That's step one complete. Then you want to put on some washers basically. Stop the heatsink touching the motherboard, frying it completely. Always good thing. Okay, then just whack on the heatsink. Hopefully it should just go on like this. This might take me a minute to screw it in or two. Failing pretty hard lining it up. Brilliantly. Okay, lined up. Swivel it around to get a better. Oops. Just drop the brackets. Oh well, I'll put it back in a second. Right. Basically just screw these in the best way as you can. Do them lightly first. Don't want to do them too tight, otherwise the other side will never go in. It's about to do now. Bugger. Bugger. Oh, I'm not very good at this, am I? Right. Okay. This one's going to be the biatch. Since I got it in a little bit, it'll be okay. Yeah, there we go. Then you'll get a friendly screwdriver and just screw it all together. And that should be the heatsink done. Okay, this is the heatsink on fully with all the fans and stuff. I didn't film that, probably could take me about 20 minutes to do. It didn't actually, it took me about 5, but oh well. But I'll show you where to hook up the cables for the heatsink. So usually you have one right next to the processor to the left of it. So you just simply slot it in. Sometimes you'll have 4 pins, sometimes it will just be 3, and it's clearly marked out by the little bracket thing where the 3 pin ones need to go. I'll zoom in on that. But I can. Isn't it? There we go. As you can see, so it goes in that way, where it lines up with the bracket. You can simply just push it in. Now, because this heatsink's got 2 fans, I've got to plug in the other point as well, which usually you wouldn't have to do if you had a normal sort of heatsink. But I'm just going to plug this one into a spare port on the motherboard. Simple. I'm just going to use probably this one here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Bottom right. Same process. Whack it in. Job done. Okay, to install the hard drive, simply place the hard drive in the hard drive tray, self-explanatory, and then just push it into position, and then just screw it up. Incredibly easy. Nothing to worry about. Oh, let's just get this in. And that's pretty much it for the hard drive. As for the CD, it's also very easy to do. Simply take the CD-ROM drive. Now once you've taken out the metal slat in the front of the case, I'll just pan the camera up. You can see the slat, there's a big opening at the top. So you just post it through. So through the external way, not try and get it through the computer. It's much harder if you put it in this way. So much easier. And then awesome case, clicky thing, just locks it into place usually. Press it, there you go. Job done, locked in there. And that's it, that's how easy it is to install the CD-ROM and the hard drive. I hope that was okay to see. That's it.